Panther, a monster with feet of clay. How Soviet engineers studied the Third Reich's best tank. Chapter 1. Debutant from the Southern Face. The medium tank Panzer.Kpfw Panther, variant D, became the German answer to the 34. Its production began in January 1943. However, the development of this vehicle began long before the Germans became acquainted with the 34, back in 1938. Gradually, the combat weight of the projected tank, which was to replace the Pz.Kpfw 3, increased. Initially, it was assumed that it would fit into the 20-ton weight class. In the autumn of 1941, despite the resistance of the Reich Minister of Armaments Tode, the bar was raised to 30 tons, but even that proved conditional. As early as March 1942, when the VK30.02D and VK30.02MAN projects were being considered, the combat weight of the future Panther was 35 tons. And the built-in metal prototype VK30.02 MAN turned out to be even heavier, since the requirements for protecting the frontal hull and turret had changed. By December 1942, the combat weight of the new tank was estimated at 43.4 tons. In practice, the combat weight of the Panzer.Kpfw Panther, variant G, reached 44.8 tons, putting it on the level of heavy tanks. The Panther turned out to be twice as heavy as the Panzer.Kpfw 3. The increase in weight without a substantial redesign of the running gear and powertrain did not pass without consequence. Having created a truly advanced tank, the MAN Design Bureau simultaneously endowed it with a host of inherent flaws. The blame lay with the tightened requirements for enhanced protection. The Panther's chassis had practically exhausted its reserves for modernization even before series production began. At the beginning of 1943, this problem did not seem urgent, but later it turned out that the Panther's chassis would not withstand either an increase in armor thickness or a significant strengthening of its armament. The overload significantly affected its reliability. Frequent breakdowns became a headache for German engineers and tank crews. It was only possible to increase reliability to an acceptable level by the autumn of 1943, but problems continued to surface periodically even later. The combat debut of the Panzer.Kpfw Panther, variant D, took place on the southern face of the Kursk Bulge. The Panther's reliability problems here combined with the well-organized defense of the Red Army. By the start of the German offensive, the 10th Tank Brigade had 200 Panzer.Kpfw Panther variant D vehicles, but by 8 in the morning on July 5th, 1943, 16 machines had already broken down. After 2 days of fighting, fewer than a quarter of the tanks remained operational, and by the evening of July 7th, the brigade had only 7 combat-ready tanks. Subsequently, the combat strength of the Panthers in this unit fluctuated between 25 and 45 vehicles. The heavy losses were partly due to improper use of the tanks. The Panther had a very strong frontal profile, but its sides were not an obstacle for shells of 76mm caliber and above. The Panzer.Kpfw Panther suffered greatly from flanking fire. Cases were recorded of these tanks being knocked out by even lighter guns. In one battle, late on July 5th, 7 American light tanks M3 managed to knock out 5 Panthers, losing only 2 of their own. Many of the new German tanks were also lost due to technical reasons. The engine and running gear proved to be the least reliable components. By July 21st, Out of the 200 tanks in the 10th Tank Brigade, only 41 remained combat ready. 85 required repair, 16 were sent for overhaul, and another 58 Panthers were irretrievably lost. With all that, the Panthers inflicted serious losses on the 1st Tank Army of General Lieutenant Katukov. It should be noted that the large number of undercarriage damage to the German tanks is explained primarily by the good work of the Soviet sappers. The combat debut of the German medium tanks should not be called a failure. Even in its raw state, the Pz.Kpfw Panther variant D proved to be a formidable fighting machine, capable, under favorable conditions, of inflicting serious damage on the enemy. The continuation will follow on our channel. To not miss the next chapter, please subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed this story. And if not, write in the comments what can be improved. Thank you for your attention.